Hello everyone, let's talk about something that's quite mind-bending. Right here I have roughly 200 or so games on my main user interface, which is really not easily possible on even the SNES or NES Classics, but we're going to do something else incredibly cool today because we're going to be talking about the butterfly mount effect again, something that I deemed a couple years ago related to things as far as updating, either breaking or making things better. And some of you have seen me do this with a few different things I'm going to clarify, but let's load a game right here called Robotron 2084. The first time you load this game up, it is not going to load properly because it has to initialize via an Nvram, which is non-volatile random access memory. This is what happens when I try to start this game here. I'm going to go into a little bit of what I'm going to be doing for the very next update, and I'm going to be collaborating with Grand2258 and Mavis99 as far as fixing some things up, but this pretty much goes along with some of the other stuff I've been doing in recent updates. Right here it says factory settings restored, but the game is unplayable. You can't do anything. So I'm going to exit back to the main user interface. And yes, the Nvram is now initialized properly. This is a minor example of a game that has an issue. And there are two things you can do. Once you initialize the Nvram, you can exit back to the main user interface, go back into the game, and it's going to work properly. Just watch. The other thing you can do is actually go into RetroArch settings and restart the game. And luckily, Robotron 2084 is an easy game to do this with, but there are other games that are tremendously difficult to work with. Right here, it's not going to be stuck anymore. It's going to go right past this part. Damn. Great game. I used to play this at Chuck E. Cheese many years ago, and it never ever got old. Love by twin stick shooters. This is an RC Pro-Am, twin stick shooters, and three-quarter perspective racing games are just so amazing. By the way, try this game with Rewind. It is so damn cool to rewind. It has glitches that are absolutely redonkulous. I need to play some Super Smash TV as well, but this is absolutely insane. And yes, you can go into Rewind and really make this game fun. It is a fun glitch fest, but let's go back into the main user interface. And we're going to talk about another game that had Nvram initialization issues because it needed a bootstrap Nvram implementation. And we're talking about Run and Gun. And Mark W. Kidd did a tremendous job helping get this work. He helped out with the hard coding of it, and this game runs phenomenally well, and the Nvram installs by itself. Before it would always error out. I'm going to show you exactly what the Nvram is. Right here where it says EEPROM 35E, it would fail at that point, but look, it actually makes it past it because we have it implement automatically, and I plan on doing this for as many games that have Nvram implementations necessary as possible. And this is part of a driver set of other games that have had previous issues too. But let's try this out for a second and see the performance boost right here. And then I'm going to show you the big guns next, and we're going to play independently. I still don't know how they got that spelled wrong, but let's check this out for a brief moment, because this is a game that had tremendous issues running with performance and speed in the past, but now it runs phenomenally well, and it is one of my go-to games. And ironically enough, try NCAA Basketball, the Mode 7 basketball game on Super Nintendo. You notice how you see no characters in the background here? This is pretty much what NCAA looks like, but watch what happens once I start the game. That background right there is pretty much how the Super Nintendo version is. But right here, I actually have audience members there. There must not have been enough memory to work with on the Super Nintendo. Similar game to this because obviously they cut out the entirety of all audience members. But look at this incredible game. Love my basketball games. It is by far my favorite sport. Full court shot. Not going to get it today, but let's go back to the main user interface. And we're going to do another game that had previous issues. Just like Robotron 2084, another game that's kind of Midway related or Atari related, it also has issues, as Narc. You also need to do the reinitialization as far as restarting the core and or exit back to the main user interface. But we're going to get into a really big one right now that many, I can say this like for an hour straight, people have had issues with. Warzord, aka Red Earth. This game, if you try running the hard drive version of it, it takes roughly an hour to initialize the Nvram for it. But for those of you who have unfortunately attempted to load this, as far as the hard drive versions are concerned, it can take anywhere up to a half hour to an entire hour depending on your overall setup. And on the mini classics, it would typically fail completely. But here we are, non-hard drive version run on the Final Board Alpha course in this tremendously awesome game, which reminds me kind of a cross between Guilty Gear, Darkstalkers, and of course, like even Primal Rage. It's so incredibly awesome. We'll play as Leo the Lion style character here. And you have a little bit of a strategic RPG element upgrade system, kind of like in the Dungeons & Dragons games, and even another game I'm going to be showing you in a minute here. But this is an incredible game, CPS 3 series games, just like the Street Fighter 3 games, and you do not need BIOS. Just run these to non-hard drive versions on the Final Board Alpha cores. Attack! No! Yes, it reminds me a lot of like a Primal Rage. And unfortunately, Primal Rage games do not run all too well. You need to kind of run the PlayStation 1 version in order to have any kind of integrity as far as performance is concerned. No mercy! Thundercats go, right? Oh yeah, this is such an incredible game. 2-player mode activated all the way. And I'm going to show you another cool game as well, because this game is actually quite similar to another game that I'm going to be running. Super Sentai game. I'm going to show you that next. Hopefully I can take this dinosaur down. And yes, there are fatalities in this game too. I definitely need to learn my system here. Look at this, so primal rage. Oh, come on. Oh, such a cool game. They did such a tremendous job on this game. It is again Warzone, aka Red Earth. And there are other games like this too. Oh yeah, we got this. Oh, look at that awesomeness. Never get sold. You can do fatalities too. I did one in my last CPS3 demonstration. But right now I'm going to bring out the big guns. We're going to talk about 2 games that require initialization, and with the extreme performance and speed update of the last release and what I'm going to be adding to the next release, you're going to be able to run these so much better. Just check it out for yourself. I'm going to show you 2 games that previously had tremendous issues running, and one of these is called Monster Maulers. Just check this out for yourself. It's going to properly be initialized with the next update. And the performance and speed is decent. Again, it is a tremendously difficult game to run. It would almost always invariably crash on mini classics due to the memory limitations. And this game right here, along with the other game I'm going to be showcasing next, I strongly urge you guys to be very, very careful about. If you try to load it, you may have issues where you corrupt or cause issues with your flash or hard drive. I mean, it needs proper initialization, which I'm going to cover as far as the next release is concerned. This game's going to be running quite nicely here. And due to the extreme memory limitations in previous releases, this game would nearly always invariably crash. But check it out for yourself. It's an absolutely incredible game here. And again, it is like a Super Sentai game, and quite a bit like Red Earth as well. Just check it out for yourself right here. Again, be very, very careful about mucking with this game. I'm going to get it out as soon as possible in the next update and show you a tutorial on how to properly run this. To load this game and not knowing what you're getting into. But I'm going to have this Nvram initialized by itself with the next update here. Check for yourself here. Okay, and listen to this amazing soundtrack. Again, this is run way better than ever before. For what? There are actually vocals in it too, listen. You can see the memory is definitely being pushed to the limits here. Without that proper setup, this game is going to crash your mini and or cause a hard drive or flash drive corruption. Love that soundtrack, so incredible. The guy behind the soundtrack actually was one of the first people in Japan to get over 4.5 million downloads for his song. This is crazy. Great 2-player mode activate game to boot. Digging this game completely. Let's try to get through another meter or 2 here. Hopefully not getting taken out in the process. We got this. I got this. Oh yeah. And it's kind of like a series of mini bosses, side-scrolling one-on-one combat, and a little bit of Red Earth as well. But look at that fatality eyeball being taken from the first enemy there. Cool Tetsu. Here we go. Taking out the brain golem. Definitely be showcasing this more tomorrow. Again, I'm working into memory fixes for this because I want to have automatic Nvram implementation, just like with Run and Gun. Look at this awesomeness. The soundtrack is so incredible. They did such a good job on this. Oh yeah. Fighting the golem here. Like a slime golem type character. This music is so out of a Super Sentai style TV show, which we didn't really have much of in the United States other than like Mighty Morphin Power Rangers for a perfect example. Loving this soundtrack here. Oh yeah. So crazy. Kind of reminds me of the first time I ever played the Choaniki series with this crazy, unabashed humor subset. Oh, great. This character's changing his form. I'm not going to stand for this. No! Oh, wow. That's interesting. See if I can actually take him out without losing my character. Definitely not an easy game. I need my 2-player mode activated here without a doubt here. Let's see what happens if I try picking a different character. Oh, look at that. Almost like a Hadouken style Dragon Ball Z move. We got this. I definitely need some practice here. This also reminds me a little bit of like the Clay Fighter series, which also was pretty amazing for Super Nintendo. Oh yeah. And the Blockbuster exclusive of Playfighter was actually one of the rare Super Nintendo games that all existed because it was only there for rental, not ever for true purchase. Really digging the soundtrack. I'm trying to stop talking as much so you can enjoy this. Even some of this music that this guy did, he worked on like Godzilla music, Ultraman music, Gotchaman music, aka Battle of the Planets and such. But we're going to move on to a different game right here. And we got one more game to showcase. But again, this is Monster Maulers, and so tremendously happy that this is working with the Xtreme Virtual RAM and combination of the Nvram Xtreme implementation, just like Run and Gun. And then let's do the other game that also had issues in the past. We're talking about none other than Gaiapolis, another game that tremendously crashed in the past, and it has RPG elements, kind of like an overhead scrolling game, a little bit like Gauntlet, but with elements like Dungeons and Dragons, side-scrolling Tower Doom, and Shadow over Mysteria and such. Round 2 fight. The other game that needs Nvram implementation properly. Again, if you try messing with either this or Monster Maulers, you might end up corrupting your hardware flash drive. I'm going to keep stressing this. I'm going to try to have this incorporated in such a way where it's going to be auto initialized for you, just like I did with these two games. Otherwise, you might have your mini crash back to the main user interface or sit there for an entire hour and you have to unplug it. Just be very, very careful mucking with these two games. I'm going to do my best to get these both incorporated as stable as possible. But here we go, we're going to clear this memory thing right here, because it is properly initialized, and we're going to try this awesome game out. Okay, here we go. Okay, Gaiapolis. And we got a prince, dragon, and a fairy. We'll play the fairy here. And look at this amazing game. One of my favorite games of all time, to play on my main emulator. I've never seen this in an actual arcade, but I would have absolutely loved to. But here we go. Let's check out this awesome game here. And you're going to see one of the cool things here. Look at this. Look how nicely this is running. It initialized perfectly. Again, I'm going to try to push this out as quick as possible, maybe even after the weekend. At least to have Monster Maulers and this game running properly, but be very, very careful if you try loading it before then. I'm also going to try to incorporate this on the PlayStation Classic, but again, I've had a few hard drive and flash drive corruptions trying to mess with this game as far as memory implementations is concerned. So be very, very careful, and I'm going to have this installed properly with an HMod or such in the next release. A beautiful, beautiful game. I'm going to be showcasing more games tomorrow that also need this Nvram implementation. But we're going to play this for another minute, then I'm going to probably have to go to work. And I'll get more of this showcase tomorrow. Love this soundtrack here. Love this type of game. It's so much like Gauntlet. Oh yeah, special move for the win. Again, in some of my initial tests of this game would pretty much invariably crash back to the main user interface. I would actually have to do a check on my hard drive or disk drive, and I would even boot back to the default games and I would showcase my USB host whatsoever. So yes, there are some issues if you're not doing this the right way, but they're going to be Nvram implemented automatically, just like with Run and Gun. And I've been having beautiful, beautiful test results indeed. And Monster Maulers and this are going to be my top 2 priorities. Then I'm going to try to work in stuff like, of course, Zybots, Pole Position, of course, Narc, Robotron 2084, and just countless other games that have control issues or Nvram initialization issues. Do a special move here. We can do 2-player mode activate by going into Retro Extended here. Let's do this real quick. Input. You can do this on about any game. We're going to user port 2 binds. And we're going to go down to device index where it says disabled. I'm going to set it to my PlayStation Classic controller. Remember to disable it when you're done. I'm going to go back to resume. And then we're going to insert coins. And we got 2 players with 1 controller. Let's take this boss out in short working order. Look at this awesomeness. Works great when you're playing games like TMNT, X-Men, and of course, obviously Simpsons. Great 2-player, 4-player mode activate. And they're actually a 6-player X-Men game, as well as even an 8-player older game from 1970s. I'm going to try to work this all in. But Gaiapolis for the win, Monster Maulers for the win, and there are going to be other automatic Nvram implementations again. Non-volatile, random access memory, and they're going to pretty much auto-start when you start the games. And I'm also going to have fixed-up controls for a few hundred other games. Like I said, Pole Position, Zybots, and so on. Any games that you guys and gals have installed that you had issues with, be sure to let me know, and I'll hard code them right in, and you'll be able to play them. And essentially, for a game like Zybots, I'm going to have L1 and R1 control your rotation. Because some of you might try to play the game and not even realize you can rotate. You might think it was like a Dungeon Master game where you have to move like front, forward, and all that. But look at this awesomeness there. Do some special attacks. And I'm going to get a few more of these games tomorrow. Let's do one more game that's on that driver real quick, and then I'm going to close up shop on this video. Another game that's on the same driver, which was fixed up a while ago, is called Violent Storm. Again, it has a game like a song like Bob Seger's Shakedown. Let's try that for a quick moment here. Let's get Violent Storm. Look at this awesome game here. One of the coolest soundtracks of all time for any game I've played. Love any kind of soundtrack that has actual vocals in the soundtrack. And you're going to see for yourself right here now this incredibly cool game. And this game runs perfect. It is already fine as is in the latest version of May 2003 Xtreme, so you can run this one now. But be very, very careful if you try to load, of course, Monster Maulers. And, of course, the other game, Gaiapolis, because you might have crashes. So be very, very careful, because there are severe memory limitations with both of those games. But this game right here, Violent Storm, runs phenomenally well. And I've showcased this more than once. But we're past the ROM check here, and we should be good to go on this game with this incredible soundtrack. Okay, ROM check. Like I said, this entire driver set are very, very stubborn games, which you can have crashes, or, of course, corruption if you do not handle them properly, but this was fixed up a while ago. We'll play as Wade here. Listen to this amazing soundtrack. Shakedown, shakedown. This reminds me of 80s movies all the way. You'll hear for yourself. So cool. That is so awesome. We need more games like this, and I'm going to have to do another video with these, because there's probably like only about 10 arcade games that actually have vocals like this. And I guess while I'm here, I can show you another quick game that's on this driver that people really, really love too. That's also hard to run. Let's do one more that's on this driver. I mean, just so you guys can see some of the games on this driver. Let's do one more right here. It's called Metamorphic Force, right here above. Again, same exact drivers, the ones I'm just running here, right here. There are roughly, like, I think 8 to 10 games on this driver. I'm going to showcase all of them. I'll do another video tomorrow, but this is going to be the last one I showcase on this driver, for today at least. Another absolutely incredible game here. Again, on the same driver is Monster Maulers, Mystic Warriors, and of course, Martial Masters, and of course, Gaiapolis. These are all on the same driver. Violent Storm. And they're all made by Konami. Konami is such a fantastic company, along with Capcom. Who do you want to play? We'll play as this character. Look at this other awesome game. Martial Masters is actually a one-on-one fighting game, kind of like Street Fighter and such. Also a very, very cool game. But look how beautiful this game is. So yes, you're going to have some more Xtreme Awesomeness for the next May 2003 Xtreme update. And thank you all for your support, and Grant2258 and Mavis99 for helping out on this little endeavor. And I'm sure Arcades 2003 will probably lend his insight as well. But yes, I want to have as many of these games fixed up as I possibly can for the next release, for all of the minis. I'm talking the Mega Drive Mini, SNES Classic, NES Classic, PlayStation Classic, and even the TurboGrafx 16, which is coming out within the next 3 weeks. And yes, absolutely guaranteed you're going to be running these all on the TurboGrafx 16 as well. So incredible game here. And Arcades 2003 actually helped out with Martial Masters as well, and why not? Let's load that real quick for a brief moment. Because that is also on the subset of drivers right here. Martial Masters, I believe I put it on here. Where is it? Right there, Martial Champion is what I've been referring to. Martial Champion, aka Martial Masters. Here we go. And there's one other game on this driver that I did not showcase yet. Let's get past that. That would be Mystic Warriors. Maybe I'll load that for a brief moment as well, because that is also an incredibly awesome, cool game. Then we'll pretty much have most of the games on the driver covered for. So I guess I could try this for a brief moment and then do the last of the bunch, which would be Mystic Warriors, another cool game. And Pat Plays did this on one of his Will It Run videos way back. Martial Champion, aka Martial Masters. Great game. And this had severe issues, which Arcades 2003 helped fix up, as well as Grant2258. Even as far as like some of the, right there where you see the people in the background dancing, this were actually glitched and did not work properly in earlier releases, and there were graphical glitches on top of that. So it's all working great now. The synchronization of the background dancing and mannerisms are all perfect now. Awesome game. I'm getting my butt whooped. I need to practice on this game. Another great 2-player mode activated game. Okay, that works fine. We're going to go to the final game. Mystic Warriors is the final game in the subset, which I'm going to showcase right now. Oh, that should be right on my list. And again, we're going to fix up Akari Warriors, Zybots, and many multitude of other games. I'll showcase this in another video tomorrow. But let's go back to Mystic Warriors, the last game on this bunch, which I need to showcase. Again, we're showcasing the Mystic Warriors driver right now, and all of the games on this driver are going to work on May 2003 stream by the time I'm done with the release. EEPROM initialize complete. See, it is initializing properly, but some of the other games like Monster Maulers and of course Gaiapolis have issues with this. And again, I'm going to have these as far as the tutorial is concerned, so you can run these on all the mini classics, because you all want to be able to enjoy Monster Maulers and especially Gaiapolis. These are incredible games, which I spent many hours on in the past. Okay, let's check out this Mystic Warriors game here. Okay, and this is the final game of this release video. And I'll do another video tomorrow showing some of the control scheme fixed up for games like pole position, Zybots, and of course the Akari Warriors and so on. But look at this awesomeness here. This is such a cool game. So happy to be able to run this. Oh yeah, we need Turbo Fire mode activated on this game without a doubt. Oh, this is so cool. But yes, a great subset of games here, and I'll do another video tomorrow, but I hope you enjoyed this. And look, we have the Contra style, and even like, should we say, some of the other inspired 8-directional way shooter games. Oh yeah, oh no. This is where I need Turbo Fire to get this thing taken out in short working order. We need some Sunset Riders here, which, by the way, is also made by Konami. It's reminding me kind of like Sunset Riders, but with ninjas. Oh yeah, incredible game, and hope you enjoyed the video. There'll be more to come tomorrow.